The 2nd Foreign Parachute Regiment is the only foreign airborne regiment of the French Foreign Legion and France, stationed at Camp Raffalli near the town of Calvi on the island of Corsica, just south of mainland France. It is part of the 11th Parachute Brigade and part of the spearhead of the French Rapid Reaction Force. History, creation and different nominations. 3rd Parachute Company of the 3rd Foreign Infantry Regiment, Parachute du 3e Compagnie Parachutiste du 3e Regiment Étranger d'Infanterie. When the idea of paratroopers became accepted by the Legion, TAP formations already presented titles of glory on all the lists of battlefields across World War II. Nevertheless, Indochina would really be the crucible in which Miral, État d'Esprit and French TAP style would surface. The glory of sacrifice and the nostalgia of a lost cause would entertain the myth. The Parachute Company of the 3rd Foreign Infantry Regiment was created on April 1, 1948. The command of the Para Company of the 3rd Foreign Infantry Regiment was entrusted to a young 23-year-old veteran, Legion Lieutenant Jacques Morin, as regimental commander or chef de corps of the Corps Para du 3e from April 31, 1948 to May 31, 1949. The volunteers filled in the ranks from the foreign regiments present already in Indochina, dependent on the organization of the 3e. The raised paratrooper company was operated under the operational missions of the 3rd Indochina Air Infantry Battalion of the 1st Parachute Chasseur Regiment. Stationed at Hanoi, the Para Company engaged immediately and took part in active airborne operations, following a series of brilliant combat action operations in the most exposed sectors of the high regions and airborne operations in the Delta. The Para Company of the 3e was dissolved on May 31, 1949. At the time of the dissolve, the Para Company counted 3 Legion officers, 14 sous-officers, 92 Legion corporals and legionnaires, all of whom were transferred to the 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion, which just disembarked in Indochina. The insignia of the Parachute Company of the 3rd Foreign Infantry Regiment was created in 1948 by the Jacques Morin. The Combat Company insignia represents an Eastern dragon, winged and armed with a sword, guarding the insignia of the 3rd Foreign Infantry Regiment at the center of Legion colors. 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion 1er BEP 1er Bataillon Étranger de Parachutistes 1er BEP I 2-3 formations. The 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion was created on July 1, 1948 at Camissa in Algeria. The 1er BEP disembarked in Indochina on November 12 and was engaged in combat operations in the Tonkin. On June 1, 1949, the Parachute 3e completed its count. On November 17, 1950, the 1er BEP jumped on that créé and sacrificed itself in Corsica to protect the unfolding of the RC4. Heading and leading tradition was 1er BEP Battalion Commander Chef de Corps du 1er BEP, Commandant Pierre Segretin. The battalion dissolved on December 31, 1950, was reconstituted on March 1, 1951 and was seen participating excessively in combat operations at Choben on the Black River and at Annam. On November 21, 1953, the reconstituted 1er BEP was parachuted on Dien Bien Phu. In this gigantic battle, the reconstituted 1er BEP counted 575 killed and missing for the second time. Amongst the fatal casualties featured Lieutenants Dumont, Bois Bouvier and Esteban Rath, killed in between April 1 and May 13, as well as Sergeant Chef Grimaud, killed on March 30. Reconstituted for the third time on May 19, 1954, the 1er BEP left Indochina on February 8, 1955. The 1er BEP totaled 5 citations at the orders of the Armed Forces and the Fourrage of the colors of the Médaille Militaire. The 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion became the 1st Foreign Parachute Regiment in Algeria on September 1, 1955. The insignia of the 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion was created in 1948 by Commandant Segreton, Battalion Commander-Chef de Bataillon, CBA of the 1er BEP 3rd Foreign Parachute Battalion 3E BEP 3E Bataillon Étranger de Parachutistes 3E BEP I-2, 3 IV formations. PIRA being designated as the 3rd Foreign Parachute Regiment 3E Wahida. The 3rd Foreign Parachute Battalion 3E BEP was created on April 1949 at Mascara. The 7th Combat Company of Paratrooper Training of the 1st Foreign rejoined SATIF 7 months later, starting November 15, 1949, becoming officially the 3rd Foreign Parachute Battalion. The mission of the 3E BEP was to instruct and form the Legionnaires destined to relieve the 1er BEP and 2E BEP, while mainly formed and created to instruct the Legionnaires. The 3rd Foreign Paratrooper Battalion participated in operations of maintaining order in Tunisia from January to June 1952. On May 4, 1954, when struggle became of a rage at Dien Bien Phu, the 3E BEP made and cleared way to Indochina. On May 25, 1954, the battalion is at Haiphong. On June 1, the count of the men forming the 3E BEP was transferred to the 2E BEP during the reconstitution of the later. The 3E BEP merged with the injured of annihilated foreign battalions while in the meantime, owing to numerous volunteers, the 3E BEP was seen reconstituted at SATIF. Back to Algeria, the 3 foreign paratrooper battalions would be seen filling the ranks of the Foreign Paratrooper Regiment. On September 1, 1955, the 3E BEP became the 3rd Foreign Parachute Regiment. Based at Patna, the regiment became operational but then was dissolved on December 1, 1955. The men constituting the regiment were merged with the 2nd Foreign Parachute Battalion to form a new corps, the 2nd Foreign Parachute Regiment. The insignia of the 3rd Foreign Parachute Battalion was created in 1950 by Captain d'Armesai, Battalion Commander-Chef de Bataillon, CBA of the 3E BEP 1st Foreign Parachute Regiment 1er Wahida 1er Regiment Étranger de Parachutistes 1er BEP disembarked in Algeria on February 25, 1955. The 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion 1er BEP became the 1st Foreign Parachute Regiment 1er BEP on September 1, 1955. Based at Zeralda, the regiment was composed of 1 command and support company, 1 assault company and 3 combat companies. Quite quickly, operations commenced. Namanches, Tunisian and Moroccan frontiers, Wasnas and Suez. On November 6, 1956, the regiment disembarked at Port Foire and operated quickly along the canal. The progression of the regiment was halted by the ceasefire and the regiment was quick to make way to operate around the mountains of Algeria by December 10. Following the petrol route in the Sahara, combat operations engaged the regiment non-stop in the region of Guelma. The magnificent results were endured by the death of superior French regimental commander-chef de corps Legion Lieutenant Colonel Pierre-Paul Jean-Pierre, the legendary paralegionnaire leading, who fell to the enemy on May 28, 1958 along with a couple of hundred legionnaires. In 1959, action around the mountains retook course in operations Dumels, Sigales, and Arage in the Auris, ending in Kabylie. Lorry representation of paratroop legionnaires. The reputation of the 1st Foreign Parachute Regiment was tarnished with the unfortunate events of the General's Putsch. The regiment was dissolved on April 30, 1961 at Tyrolville. Since creation, the 1st Foreign Paratroop Regiment retook the insignia of the 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion, with a new inscription: 1 EP 2nd Foreign Parachute Battalion 2 EBEP 2 E Bataillon Étranger de Parachutistes 2 EBEP I 2, 3 IV V formations. The 2nd Foreign Parachute Battalion was created on October 1, 1948 by execution of a ministerial prescription dating to March 27, 1948. The combat companies of the 2 EBEP were constituted by the 4th Demi Brigade of the Foreign Legion in Morocco and the depot of the foreign regiments in Sidi Bel Abs, were assigned by the 25th Airborne Division element, comprising 1 command company and 3 combat companies type Fusiliers Voltiges. The battalion made and cleared way to Oran on January 19, 1949. Destined for Indochina, disembarked in Saigon on February 9. The battalion was directed to Kep by land route. On November 1949, the battalion took base in Quanti Acute. The first combat engagements of the 2 EBEP have for theatre of operations Cambodia, Cochinchina and Annam. On October 1950, the 2 EBEP was summoned to Tonkin, reinforced by a heavy mortars company. The battalion engaged in all military operations in the Delta, in Thailand, Mekong and the plains of Jars. The impressive series of combat engagements were earned at the Battle of Gia Lo, Colonial Route and Degree 6, Hoa Binh, and the defensive the Camp Bun airborne operation on Langsan. Crowned of a magnificent epoch, the 2 EBEP made and cleared way to Dien Bien Phu on April 9 and 10 of 1954 in the middle of the furnace, following the counter-attack of supporting Point Huguet, led by a rare determination during the night of the 22 and 23 of April. The 2 EBEP and the 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion merged to form a single Foreign Marching Battalion. On May 7, the Foreign Marching Battalion was dissolved and the 2 EBEP was recreated by members of the 3rd Foreign Parachute Battalion. On June 1, 1954, the 2 EBEP left Asia. On November 1, 1955, the colors of the battalion were decorated with 6 citations at the orders of the armed forces and the fourragère of the colors of the Legion of Honor. The losses of the 2 EBEP endured 1,500 Legion officers, sous-officiers and legionnaires killed along with their chef de corps. Legion Commandant Barthélemy Camp Raffalli leading and heading tradition. Returned to Algeria, the 2nd Foreign Parachute Battalion became the 2nd Foreign Parachute Regiment on December 1, 1955. The insignia of the 2nd Foreign Parachute Battalion was created in 1949, in Cambodia. The battalion insignia represents an eastern winged dragon, making reference to the original implementation in Asia. The 3-point triangular shape of the insignia represents the form of an open parachute, centered by the flag colors of the Legion, and is symbol of the perfection that is expected of the men that may serve this regiment. The battalion was commanded at the time by Commandant Solnan, 2nd Foreign Parachute Regiment 2E Wahida 2E Regiment Étranger de Parachutistes 2E REP 2ER. EP Global Campaigns history include and is not limited to 2E BEP then 2E Wahida in Algeria on December 1, 1955. The 2nd Foreign Parachute Battalion 2EB EP was enlarged to a full regiment, and was redesignated as the 2nd Foreign Parachute Regiment. The regiment served throughout the Algerian War and suffered a total of 741 casualties. After the armistice on March 19, 1962, the regiment was moved to Telegma and in September to Mers el-Kabir. In June 1963, Lt. Colonel Caillot exercised command, regrouped and reformed the REP regiment into an elite para-commando force. In June 1967, the regiment was moved to its current base at Camp Raffalli, Calvi on the island of Corsica. It was assigned to the 11th Division and became part of France's Rapid Intervention Forces. 2E Wahida post-1969 Chad. Elements of the regiment were deployed to Chad in April 1969 as part of a French force to support the government against two rebel forces, returning at the end of 1970. Individual companies were deployed again in 1978–79 to protect French lives and again in 1984. French territory of the Afars and the Isses. Zaire. In May 1978, a force of gendarmes Katangais entered the Katanga province of Zaire from Angola and occupied the mining town of Kolwezi. They began to loot the town and kill government soldiers and civilians. At the request of the government of Zaire, 2 Wahida was airlifted to Kinshasa and dropped on Kolwezi. The operation was a success and the town was quickly recaptured with minor casualties in the ranks of the paratroopers. Some 120 civilian hostages died in the occupation. Lebanon, along with the 31E Brigade, which included the operational group of the Foreign Legion, Kuwait, Rwanda, Gabon, Somalia, Central Congo-Brazzaville, former Yugoslavia, Côte d'Ivoire, Afghanistan. The regiment partook in various operations from 1960 to 1980 OMLT 2008, GTI Alta 2010, Red SGTI 2011 and Operation Pamir. 2E Wahida deployed to Afghanistan from January to July 2010 as part of Task Force Alta. 2 Legionnaires, Pole Konrad Rigwil from 2E REPG, CP, Slovakian Robert Hotnik from the regiment were killed in action. Mali, a reinforced company of the 2E Wahida was parachuted north of Timbuktu on January 28, 2013. Selection. Sharping up for 2ER. EP takes 12 months of physical, mental and psychological tests across all terrain and weather conditions including special operations training. 2EREP is the only regiment of the 11th Parachute Brigade which trains their own paratroopers. The Legionnaires spend the parachute training in Calvi Tap within the walls of the regiment. All other French Army paratrooper units are trained at the École des Troupes Aéroportées in Pau. Organization. The regiment is composed of around 1140 men organized into 9 companies and a reserve unit of 60 men. Compagnie de Commandement et de Logistique, Command and Logistics Company. Compagnie d'Administration et de Soutien, Administrative and Support Company. Compagnie d'éclairage et d'appui, Reconnaissance and AMP, Support Company. Anti-tank, Sniper, and Airborne Commando Sections. 1 RECIE 1st Company. 2 ECIE 2nd Company, 3 ECIE 3rd Company, 4 ECIE 4th Company, 5 ECIE 5th Company, 5 E Compagnie de Maintenance 5th Maintenance Company. 6e Compagnie, Reserve Unit. Commando Group. Teams of the 2e Wahida belong to the Commando Parachute Group. Groupement Commando Parachutist, which is a special forces unit of the 11th Parachute Brigade of the French Army, while GCP members of other units wear the parachutists' red beret. The 2e Wahida GCP members maintains the green beret of the French Foreign Legion. Traditions, except for the legionnaires of the 1e Reg, 2e Reg, 2e Wahida that conserve the green beret. The remainder of the French Army Metropolitan and Marine paratroopers forming the 11th Parachute Brigade wear the red beret. Insignias. The insignia of the Foreign Legion paratroopers of France represents a closed and LT and LT winged arm dextrosure in GT and GT, meaning a right-winged arm armed with a sword pointing upwards. The insignia makes reference to the patron of paratroopers. In fact, the insignia represents an LT and LT, the right arm of St. Michael, and GT, the archangel, which according to liturgy is the LT and LT, armed arm of God, and GT. This insignia is the symbol of righteous combat and fidelity to superior missions. Regimental colors bearing stitched in golden letters the following inscriptions. Regimental songs chant de marche, le legend marche, featuring decorations. The regimental colors are decorated with croix de guerre des têtes d'opérations extérieures with 6 palms obtained during the campaigns of the First Indochina War. The 6 palms obtained during the same campaign allows the regiment to wear the red fourragère with ruband colors of the Légion d'honneur. Only 2 regiments earned this fourragère for participating in military campaigns in Indochina. The 2e Wahida has received a second fourragère value militaire in July 2013. Cross for military valor with 4 palms for the following citations: intervention at Loyada in 1976 and the Battle of Kolwezi in 1978. Interventions in Afghanistan with the contingents of ISAF, airborne operations on Timbuktu during Operation Serval in 2013. Fourragère with the attribution of the 2 citations for the same operation theatre confers the right to wear the fourragère with colors of the Croix de la Valeur militaire and the olive colors of the Médaille militaire for the ensemble of the 4 conferred citations. Honors. Battle honors. Cameroon 1863, Indochine 1949 to 1954. AFN 1952 to 1962. Company, battalion and AMP, regimental commanders. Note: Legion officers killed heading the battalions and regiments. Para-company of the 3rd Foreign Infantry Regiment, Paraco. Do 3 EREI 1st Foreign Parachute Battalion, 1 BEPI, 2, 3 Formations 3rd Foreign Parachute Battalion, 3 EBEPI, 2, 3, IV Formations 1st Foreign Parachute Regiment, 1 Wahida 2nd Foreign Parachute Battalion, 2 EBEPI, 2, 3, IV, V Formations 2nd Foreign Parachute Regiment, 2e Wahida. Notable officers, sous-officiers and legionnaires. Gallery.